led you to a further confused.
Yes, I will. Thank you. So the Finance Committee had 3 meetings, December 11th, January 7th, and January 23rd. 2 of those meetings dealt with a lot of budget items. As Dr. Yarnell stated, the January 7th meeting, we talked about bond refinancing or bond borrowing, possibly for capital projects. Nothing was decided there, as he stated, and I believe at the February 12th, 4th? February 4th meeting, we will be discussing that again. January 23rd, which was just this past last week, we spent quite a bit of time on the budget and the timeline of the budget. And I just wanted to mention that there was 7 of the 8, or 8 of the 9 board members were present at that meeting. And normally at this time, we, in past years, have decided to pass a motion to stick to the Act 1 index, which I believe this year is 2.1. So we discussed what to do at that meeting, whether we wanted to pass a similar motion this year. Other options were to pass a preliminary budget and not pass a resolution, and we would have a chance to take possibly advantage of an exception. The only exception we would qualify for this year is the PSERS exception, which Kathy estimated would get us around $900,000 extra that we could raise taxes by. There are other options for referendum, but I think, while not all board members were in agreement, I think the majority agreed to proceed this year without passing the resolution to stick to the Act 1 index. And really all that means for us is it gives us an opportunity to discuss future options, including using the PSERS exception without tying our hands to the 2.1. It doesn't mean that's what we're going to do. I mean, it just gives us more options. So I just wanted to make that known tonight that we are not going to pass that resolution. While not every board member was in agreement, the majority were in agreement not to pass that resolution. So, did I miss anything, Dr. Reinhardt?
I don't think so.
I mean, obviously, we spent a lot of time discussing the numbers, the preliminary budget numbers, and we will, because we're not passing that resolution tonight, we will have to pass a preliminary budget, and that we have to schedule a special board meeting to do that. So that will be February 12th. But we will have another finance meeting on February 4th, which we will have we will continue our budget discussions there. So we do have some motions, normal motions. So the first motion is to approve contracts, and the contracts listed are A through H.
Do we have a second to that motion?
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Sarnes moved this motion, and Mr. Rigono seconded. Are there comments or questions from board members on the contracts? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 9-0. Mr. Sarnes?
The second is our motion to approve purchase contracts A through C.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved by Mr. Sarnes, seconded by Mrs. Miller to approve the purchase contracts. Comments or questions from board members? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 9-0. Mr. Sarnes?
And the third is to approve the student activity account requests A, sub 1 and 2.
Second for this motion.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Sarnes, seconded by Mr. Thompson to approve the transfers in the student activity accounts. Comments or questions from board members? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 9-0. Next, Mr. Sarnes.
I think we could probably do 4 and 5 together, so I'll just combine them.
Okay, do we have a second for motions on 4 and 5?
Second.
Moved by Mr. Sarnes, seconded by Mr. Deming, on the two motions concerning tax collection. Comments or questions from board members? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 9-0. Mr. Sarnes?
We're going to remove motion 6 because actually that's covered in the personnel section. So we'll just table or take that one out. And then finally, motion 7 and 8 for settlement agreements.
We have a second, I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Moved by Mr. Sarnes, seconded by Mr. Thompson to approve 2 settlement agreements. Comments or questions from board members? Mrs. Yardley?
Yeah, I'm ready to discuss before I was appointed to the board, so I'm abstaining from those two.
Okay. Fair enough. Any other comments or questions? All right, all those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? So the motion carried, or the joint motion carries 8-0-1. Mr. Sarnes?
The next Finance Committee meeting is scheduled for February 4th at 7:30 here in the District Administration Office.
Okay, thank you.